It's your boy ConcertViz34, and today I want to talk about bringing children, especially babies, to concerts that have more of an adult crowd, more of an adult tailgate, and aren't necessarily suited for most children to go to. This topic comes from the yearly debate from various forums that we see about how old is old enough to bring your child to a concert. And on Facebook, if you're part of DMB family, you saw yesterday that has a lot of fun satire that some people got offended by or thought, hey, you're taking it too far, be kind, blah, blah, blah. So I figured I would make a video with my opinion, which again is just my opinion. Full disclosure, I am not a parent. I respect the responsibility of a parent in 2018, no matter how old or young your kid is, because you look at there's some of the stuff going on with how privileged kids are. Syracuse, New York, you got a kid, having to be taken to court to get out of his parents' house, and that's how sad some children are getting. But I want to talk again from a perspective. I'm not a parent. I work with children. I work with toddlers on a volunteer basis at my church daycare. I work with middle school kids on a volunteer basis. I should be a teacher. I just didn't want to go to school and take all those tests. But I am a mentor to those in the community, family, friends, and my friends who have children. I love interacting and hanging out with them, which is why I have an opinion that some fans go too far when it comes to bringing their children to shows. There isn't really a clear-cut answer. There's not an age cutoff. There's not a you must be this tall type of mindset I have. But I think there's two sort of interactions with children. There are children that are, maybe a little too young to go to a show, but they A, enjoy themselves, and B, made the decision to be there. And I always think it's great when people take some of their children, preferably at the pre-teen age or teenage age, to classic shows. Going to Roger Waters shows and seeing people take their children. Going to Dead and Company shows and seeing people take their children. My dad has influenced my record collection to the right as far as the soul that he brought into the soul music and R&B music from the 70s that he brought to my attention. Even though it was later in life, he didn't really push a lot when I was younger, but now I have a connection because I was getting into it and he has all this music I can listen to. So I think it's a great interaction when a child is more towards that preteen age. What I don't like to see, and again, this is just my opinion, I'm not telling you how to parent, I really don't like to see some of these very, very young kids, 1-year-olds, 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds at concerts and seeing them cry, be impatient, and not really enjoy themselves. And that's not because they're interfering with my experience, because they're not. But as someone who works in child care on a volunteer basis, I've been doing this, even though I'm only 27, I've been working with children since I was like 8 or 9, helping my mom out at our church daycare. And I've been certified and trained and background checked since my teenage years to work with children. I've gone to seminars and sessions. So I'm not just shooting from the hip, but again, I'm not a parent. But to me, some people's fandom goes too far when they bring their children that are babies and toddlers and 4 and 5 and really even to 6, and they don't want to be there. And I really think it's something where parenting, even though I'm not a parent, I think it really needs to be something where if a kid is too young to remember the show, if a kid is that young when they're not even in elementary school, they really should be you should hire a babysitter. If you can afford a concert ticket in 2018, even if it's slightly below face value from a dude off the street, you should be able to afford the babysitting. And because if a baby is that young, I don't care what type of headgear, I don't even care about the noise stuff, because you know what, they'll turn out fine. But it's just the consideration you have for your kid. I love the Allman Brothers behind me. I love Dave Matthews. I love Dead and Company. I love John Mayer. I love String Cheese and Humphreys McGee and all these bands that I go see year and year. J. Cole. I'm going to see Kendrick. I love going to these shows. Most of my what would be vacation money is spent really going to concerts. It's not even going on vacation. I took my first vacation in like 5 years this year with my parents. And that was really the first money I paid out of for a vacation away from the Northeast forever. So I mean, this is my life. But when I have children, that is going to be the center of my life. I will cut shows. If I don't get a babysitter, I will not be going to shows. I'll be reducing my touring significantly when I decide to have children, and go into that fatherhood portion of my life. But I think it's just ridiculous and it's inconsiderate of your child to force them or force a concert down their throat. Now, again, at the preteen age, to me, that's a time where someone says, I want to go. And even elementary school, they may say they want to go, but still, they're still a child. And you know what? That's your decision as a parent. But to me, it frustrates me when there are babies at a Dead and Company show, and there's babies at a DMB show, especially when they're closer to the front. And look, yes, on TV, things are violent. They're going to see drinking. They're going to see weed. But to have them in an environment at such a young age where, you know, people are smoking, drinking, getting drunk, I don't think it's the best thing, especially for the bands who tailgate, as far as the fans who tailgate at some of these more big, you know, popular bands, even less popular bands, but they just have a crazy tailgate scene. So, I mean, that's just how I feel. I know everyone has a different opinion on what it's like to bring a child to a concert, but to me, at the craziest of craziest fans who do this, and really it's only a small percentage of fans that are doing this. Most people are getting babysitters. They're bringing them to grandma's house, or they're letting the in-laws or, you know, the brother or sister have the kids for a weekend to have that special time with aunts and uncles. But to me, the fans that bring their babies to these shows, you got to think much more than just seeing this band, which you've probably seen 10 or 15 times already, just so you're bringing your kid there. I mean, I think you got to hire a babysitter. But let me know what you guys think. Continue the conversation below. Definitely like, comment, subscribe. I'm not trying to, again, I have to emphasize this. No one's trying to tell you how to parent. People just have the opinion that, hey, you should probably care more about your child's life than you do about the stupid concert. And that's really all it is. We're blessed to go to these shows, but they're really stupid. We're standing in a sea of people watching music, and we probably heard the same song 15 times. I think being a parent is more important than that, than saying, oh, I got to go to this show. I got to go see that so-and-so at Red Rocks. Like, forget babysitting. I'm going to bring my baby too. Like, just think of your kid first. And that's just a societal thing. It doesn't even have to be a concert. I see it at my church. People are more caught up with the choir than they are, you know, singing in the choir than having their kid have something to do. People are more caught up in their career, even though that brings them money, or they're caught up in this activity and they bring their kids along. It's very sad what the lack of consideration for the child first versus your stupid little hobby of singing or going to the casino or doing something else. Like, your life should be centered around your kid. And there's times you hire a babysitter, but yeah, hire a babysitter. Forget about this band and this whole act of standing around listening to music for a little bit time in your life. You know, once they get older, you can go to as many shows as you want, but I don't know. I think it's a small percentage of people, but those parents, I don't know. I just think they're a little crazy and inconsiderate. But it's your boy ConcertViz34. Definitely like, comment, subscribe. Otherwise, I'm out.